I think that if you're experiencing this right now, or you know someone who's experiencing this, um, you've experienced this, but there are sometimes you just gotta let go. There are relationships, people that we're talking to, either friendship, business partners, groups that we're part of, that you know in your heart that this is not good for me, but it's hard. It's hard to let go because it's scary. I am only saying this because my, well, boy I was dating, right, liked each other, ex, he was my best friend, emailed me again, and he's been emailing me. Um, and I didn't say anything. It was hard because this is someone that I consider my best friend and I had a lot of love for at one point in my life. But I had to stop. Why? Well, first off, we met not the best circumstance. We were both experiencing our own mental health challenges. Um, but I couldn't take anymore, at least on my side, feeling, how do you say, less than in one regard or another. Um, Whether it came from money, um, or I didn't know if he was gonna just not want to talk to me again, because that's how we stopped talking this last time. He said he needed to take a step back, and I'm like, it's all yours. At that point, I think I was done of constantly having to deal with that back and forth with someone. I don't know if they're gonna want to talk to me again. It's happened more than a few times, um, and I just had to stop it once and for all, right? The reason why I say that is because sometimes you can be in relationships that would be blocking your blessing. Um, Again, this is another person I'm talking about, so it's not like, oh my god, they were just like no, nothing like that, right? But I say in a sense of like we were just became incompatible to the point where it was affecting me. He was reminding me a lot of a period of time in my life. Um, and I think we are just on different, oh my god, different how do you say, paths in our healing journeys, and that was getting to me, right? And it was affecting me and stopping me from doing other things in my life, constantly almost worrying about this person. I'm trying to say this without saying some things, right? But I was in a spot where I just felt horrible about myself, like constantly. I've cried over this boy multiple times. Um, I felt like I was walking on eggshells multiple times with him, and I devoted a lot of mental energy surrounding him. And I think he could say the same thing with me. But this past time, where I think I was fed up with it, was like, um, we were not dating. We tried to do the friends thing, and even in that time, it was like I could not even be friends with him because the day before I had one of my exams, he said that I wasn't being truthful with him when it came to saying I could not hang out with him because I was at Bible study with one of my other friends, and then I was at engineering with another one of my friends. But it's like, you're not my only friend anymore. And I think that almost was like what did me, and I realized we are two different people. Um, why I say that you need to let go is because since that point in time, I haven't been as stressed out, if I'm being honest. I wish him all the best, but I wish him the best from afar. But I would not have been able to say this a year ago because I was so scared of losing him. I didn't think I would find anyone as good as him, right? And I'm not saying like to compare people, but just like at that point in time, he's probably a different person now. What do I know? I do not talk to him, right? And I think it's just better like that. Um, and even just not relationships, but in friendships too. I used to be friends with one girl, but again, I had to stop talking to her because it felt like me going to Penn was a huge reason why we are friends. She does not go to Penn, but I don't know if she thought I was connected or something like that. I'm like, hey man. And it did feel lopsided in the sense of like I'd be there for her, but she wouldn't be there for me. But again, like there was this fear of like, oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to find friends if she is not my friend. But again, not talking to her, I am less stressed. I would say again the same thing with track. When people ask me about my accident, I say that it was a blessing in disguise. I wouldn't, if I had the ability to go back in time and not have that accident, I don't think I would use it. Why? Because of that accident, I stopped doing track. And because of how track, if you know, you know at Penn, very stressful. And not in like a good way. Like not in like, oh, I'm at a D1 level way. It's like very petty stuff, but that's another thing, right? You have to sometimes allow yourself to jump into the unknown, and like when you know the situation you're in is bad, right? Why are you staying? My English teacher in year 12, he said that it's better for you to be by yourself than be with someone who actively, like, you don't know if they like you. And that's how I felt sometimes with this boy. I know he had his own struggles with his mental health, but they started to get at me. He would sometimes, well, be angry with, not with me, but his anger would be transferred to me. I remember spending a lot of energy thinking, how can I help him? How can I do this with him? How can I Same with the other friend that I'm talking about too, right? I would be there for her, listening to her one, but when it came from my stuff, it wasn't the same. And both these situations caused me a lot of stress. Same thing with track. Not in the same way, but a sense of inadequacy, especially when I came back from my leave. And I think that if this is a sign to, you know, if you know that you're not happy in whatever situation you're in, to just be like, hey man, because you don't know what's waiting for you on the other side, right? If I continued with my ex, because the way it was, like, I think maybe not even enough time had passed to be like, okay, we can be friends, right? Because I was fine with it, but like, I know he still had feelings for me, and I'm like, this is not a correct arrangement. This is not correct. This is not right. I wouldn't even be able to really meet other people because it would only be him. Because I think that's just what he was used to. It used to just be us like this, right? Every time, just hanging out every single possible day. But because of that, I was not on campus a lot to meet other people, right? Because of that, again, like, being hanging out with Kira as often, oh god, one of my friends as often as I did during the summer, that wouldn't happen. Even the boy I'm with now would not have happened, right? One thing or another. And you're going to be blocking your blessings. I'm way happier now, but I was so scared when that happened. Same thing with track and that ending. Holy, if you saw me that first week or something, I was down bad. But track ending was one of the better things that happened to me, I would say. Because not only did I get to, you know, decide I want to do computational biology and be having time for my engineering classes, it's like I now felt like I had room to think about things outside of track, because I only looked at myself as an athlete, not the student part, and I had time to focus a lot on the student part. And again, like, as I'm talking now, I would not be able to talk about this so calmly before, because I don't know, man, like, emotion, I was just like a wreck during that time, right? So again, don't let the fear, or do not become victim of sunk cost fallacy, because oh my god, I spent so much time, I might as well continue. No, that's like dumb. Like, why would you do that? Do you want to just be miserable? It's better for you to be at your baseline and be by yourself. And if you're not okay being by yourself, that's a sign. That's a sign. If you, again, I think I said before, if you're not okay here, what do you think is gonna happen? No one's coming to save you. Do not get into relationships or jump into a thing as a form of escapism. Fix what's up with you. You know what I mean? So, yeah.